One of the Minnesota Vikings' various offseason dramas simmering on the back burner and reducing has been what's going to be the future of Danielle Hunter. The superstar edge rusher is going to be 29 years young, showed that he was fully healthy last season, and even transitioning in a new defense, still led the team in sacks with 10.5, got after it second in pressures, and overall was still a force that he proved that he can still be, right? But apparently that simmer is turning up to full boil very soon. RAPSHEET, go. From inside minicamps live on NFL Plus, the Vikings are receiving trade calls sent around the star pass rusher Danielle Hunter, and the interest is real, sources say. A look inside the complex situation. And this is what RAPSHEET had to say. Somewhat murky future for Danielle Hunter in Minnesota. Here's my understanding of where it stands. Sources say the teams have been calling the Minnesota Vikings regarding Danielle Hunter. He has in fact generated some trade interest. There are a couple of reasons. First of all, he's very, very good. Teams usually like really, really good players at premium positions like pass rusher. The Vikings and Hunter have not yet been able to strike a long-term deal to compensate him at a level he wants. My understanding is the interest is pretty serious. The Vikings have tried to make this work. They've tried to do a Band-Aid type deal to compensate him for 2023, and we'll see after this. That's what RAPSHEET had to say. And RAPSHEET, after Danielle Hunter had the herniated disc in his neck, RAPSHEET was carrying water about a potential trade before the Vikings revised his contract under Spielman. So this is coming straight from Danielle's agent through RAPSHEET. So that's where all this inside info is coming from. And Danielle's contract has been the sticking point where, back in the day, when he signed the 5 year, $72 million deal, that was a value contract at the time. And the last two off seasons, by hook or by crook, they've been able to patch together a deal, whether moving up money from later in the contract to the front of the contract and guaranteeing it, a roster bonus, etc. But now all that's left is $4.9 million base salary, a $100K workout bonus, which he's not getting because he wasn't at OTAs, and then also a $500K roster bonus as well. So that's it. And $5.5 million in total compensation. That's, I don't know, like a fifth of what the premium edge rushers are making around the league. And you got to understand from Danielle's perspective, like, yes, he is going to be 29 in October. This is one of his prime earning seasons, and it's potentially wasting away in Margaritaville. So fully understand that. And Danielle, he's missed the 2020 season in full because of the herniated disc in his neck, but before that he had back-to-back 14.5 sack seasons, also great against the run. Also, what's impressive about his sack numbers is that he was rushing from left defensive end when the Vikings were a four-man front most of the time, and it was him rushing against generally the close side of the field. So doing that against a tight end, doing it against running back Chip as well as a quarterback in CU, pretty damn impressive. 2021 registered 6 sacks in 7 games before tearing his pec, and then last year stayed healthy for all 18 games of the regular season and one playoff game, registering 10.5 sacks, leading the team, second in the team in pressures, and he's able to get it done while playing and learning a new position on the fly. Now, for Vikings wise, if they did get rid of Danielle, it's unfortunate it's after the draft because the roster is basically set, but they do have Marcus Davenport in free agency. I think Patrick Jones second is set to really step up this year. They do have DJ Wanham, Luigi Villain, Andre Carr the second. They did let go of Zadarius Smith, so losing your top 2 sack producers last year and Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith would hurt, but it would be a next man up mentality. And even though Flores, I trust to cater a system around Danielle Hunter versus just trying to fit Hunter into your system, he's not a perfect one-for-one fit as a stand-up outside linebacker. He's more of he's better as a 4-3 handed or defensive end, especially on the close side of the field. But could they make it work? Certainly. But contract-wise, like RAPSHEET said, the Vikings have been trying to work out a Band-Aid deal. And again, that's information that would come straight from the agent. I don't think the Vikings will be putting that out in the street. But the Vikings could be looking to bump up the compensation to like 17-18 million for this year, add some void years. They do have some cap space to play with, and run it back with Danielle one more time. But even though #cap is a myth, the Vikings, they do have extensions on the horizons with Jefferson and Hawkinson and Darisaw and Danielle. Even though he is only going to be 29, that's still towards closer to the back 9 rather than the front 9 of his career. So this would be a great spot for him to move. I think that Danielle would command premium draft picks in terms of trade compensation, because the Vikings do have leverage in the spot because they don't have to move him. Like, they could just squat on his rights since he is under contract for one more year, and they certainly would love to have him back potentially on a revised deal. So it isn't like, hey, it isn't like they're trying to kick him out the door. This isn't like the Zadarius Smith situation. So I think that a first and a third, roughly the Bradley Chubb trade compensation going from Denver to Miami, would make a ton of sense in this spot. And then Danielle could get paid, and the Vikings would get draft pick compensation. Then they would really need Marcus Davenport to step up and pan out on that potential as an edge rusher. But I don't know. Like, I love Danielle Hunter, but I understand the business is the business, and Kwesi's budgeting for the future, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. RAPSHEET saying that the trade market for Danielle Hunter is heating up as teams are calling the Vikes. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Once worth of work, put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skol, production value.